Hey, so today I'm going to be covering some Counterplay to Anji Mito, going to be going over how he works a little bit. If that's the kind of thing that interests you, then I hope this will help. So, first of all, Fujin. This is a classic -8 special move, but when charged adds guard point to the starter, lets him cancel into Fujin or any other spin special again, and becomes -6 instead. Charged or uncharged, it has 4 follow-ups. Nagiha, which is a -7 low that can give him a full combo on hits. Rin, which is a -9 overhead that gives no combo even if he RCs, Shin, which is a +7 reset, and Hop, which is another reset that's usually from -8 to -10. Anji can also choose to cancel Fujin entirely and go directly into a follow-up, but this is going to be something I'll cover in detail a little bit more later. Rin and Nagiha are considered unreactable highs and lows, while Shin and Hop are considered the reactable resets that you are supposed to be interrupting. So for now, let's cover what you do once you block Fujin and get put in this situation. So as we've established, regular Fujin is -8. This means most characters' P normals and K normals will be able to punish. Unless you IB, you won't be able to get a CS punish, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. The main thing to keep in mind is, of course, he can go into a follow-up, which would frame trap you and potentially lead into a full combo if he went for Nagiha. Now, charged Fujin is where it gets more complicated. So once Anji does charged Fujin, he's only going to be -6, and it lets him true string into another Fujin, frame trap with another Fujin, or go for another charged Fujin. So how do you stop him doing this in the first place? The main way is going to be just back throw and get on reaction. You can see the charged Fujin and you can back throw afterwards. If you don't want to risk a reaction throw, you can just do a delay throw instead, but this will only work if Anji is closer. It does have the upside of beating early Fujin cancels as well, but will lose to delay Fujin and space charged Fujin. You can also try to time a normal between when the guard point runs out and when Fujin comes out to try and counter hit him in between, but this is a little bit riskier, harder to time. The reward is very high, but a throw is more consistent, so go for whatever you think is best. Of course, you also need to think about the fact that he can just cancel into one of the usual Fujin follow-ups, so we're going to cover exactly how to beat those now as well. Nagiha, like we've already said, is a -7 low, and it gives a full combo on hit. If he is spaced too far, he's either entirely safe from a punish, or will make your Gatlings after the punish whiff entirely. So the only real counterplay to this move is to make sure Anji is close, prioritize blocking low, and make sure that your low punish is on point. Now Rin is pretty simple. Anji's will usually do this due to the threat of Nagiha, so it's actually more often than not the common option. However, you have to keep in mind this move is -9, so if you do not FD him once again, you will get a CS punish 100% of the time. Another fun quirk of Rin is that you can actually almost always backthrow it. So if Anjis are overusing Rin or just like to use it in certain spots, you can backthrow. This option is risky because it loses to basically everything else, but it is a good option to represent here and there. Shin can be angled left and right slightly, which can make attempting to punish on a reaction slightly more awkward. However, the main thing to keep in mind is once you see Anji rising into the air, you just have to go for a standard air to air and work on your conversions from them. So as long as you have this down, that move should be fine to deal with. And Hop doesn't really need too much explanation. If you see Anji do this animation towards you, you should be attempting to back throw if you can. It's a relatively slow reset, so it's not usually what they're going to be going for. Now, if you're a gambler, there's a lot more defensive options you can actually use against Anji to completely avoid Fujin RPS. Now, unless he goes into Fujin directly from CS, 2H or 5H, you can actually backthrow Fujin off of every blocked normal that he has. This is a little bit risky since if he does an empty normal, of course, you'll be attacking in neutral and you can get a CS counter hit, but otherwise, it's a very good option if you think you have the read. It also beats early Fujin cancels into Nagiha or Rin, but you do have to be careful if he does needles or hop, since it will punish your throw. Off of usual block strings like CS2S, you can also backdash 5H and 2H since they're usually out of range. You do have to be careful since they are relatively active, so if you're too close it will catch you, and in some cases it might just true string. So to conclude, the main things you need to be doing against Anji is keeping him close when he does Fujin and specials so you can get your correct punishes, understanding where you can punish him with what and what options he can represent after making you block certain moves, and knowing where to backthrow, how to calculate risk reward properly, and when it's worth going for certain options. Of course, this is just a 5-minute counterplay video, there's going to be some nuance lost, but hopefully this covers the character in enough detail where you can start to build your own game plan and get something started. So if you enjoyed this video or have any other questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to everyone, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.